Hello Nidorinas and Nidorinos, it is KingNido here, and we are continuing round 3 here today with two sides who have not had the start to this season that they were hoping to. The Glacado Nordics are hosting the Levere Candy Hearts. Now let us know who you think is going to win in the comments below. Will it be the physically offensive Nordics, or will it be the specially defensive fairy types? Let us know, but we will get this on.
3, 2, 1, go!
As I said, neither of these sides have had a victory yet this season, but the fairy types hoping to hold that wall that they have. The Nordics trying to prove that they are not just a glass cannon, as Frostlass starting out with the Amnesia will be Frostlass, and Beartick starting out for the Glacado Nordics. It will be Dashbun and Gardevoir starting out for the Levere Candy Hearts, as Dashbun with the grassy terrain, that grass does grow over the battlefield, and Gardevoir looking to follow it up here. Throws a present towards Beartick, is able to do some damage with that present as well, as Beartick responds with the magic powder, and this is actually going to get rid of that fairy typing to make Gardevoir a soul psychic type, which I'm sure Frostlass is gonna love being part ghost, but goes with the role play here, which is actually a really good play by Frostlass. It may lose that cursed body ability, but it is now immune to fire type attacks. It has lost that super effective weakness, as a toxic from Dashbun is going to leave Beartick badly poisoned on the field here. This poisoning will get progressively worse every turn. As Gardevoir though, with the super effective Aura's Field, almost eliminates Beartick from this matchup already, who responds with an attack order onto Dashbun. It's not very effective on the fairy types. They do resist bug type attacks, which still surprises me to this day, as that grassy terrain restores a bit of health for Beartick, but that is offset by the poisoning that Beartick has got, as Frostlass now going for the Super Fang, looking to cut the health in half of Dashbun, but it is able to avoid that attack, and Dashbun's going to respond with the Petal Dance onto Frostlass. Doesn't do a great deal of damage. Gardevoir with the opportunity to follow up, going for the triple dive. This is a 3-hit move. Gets the first one. Practically looks like it is backhanding Frostlass on the field right now with those 3 consecutive strikes. Now Beartick going for the Torment. This could potentially cause Gardevoir to struggle, which will lead to it doing damage to itself, as Beartick will suffer still from that poison. It is actually going to get worse, but first it is going to restore some health, as does Frostlass and Dashbun. And you have to think that grassy terrain has actually kept Beartick in this match longer than needed for the fairy types, as a tri-attack onto Gardevoir from Frostlass is going to leave Gardevoir with the paralysis. It may be unable to move, but it has that synchronize ability, so Frostlass is also paralyzed on the field, slowing both these Pokemon down, as Dashbun continues with the Petal Dance and gets the critical hit. Frostlass is eliminated. It does not have to worry about being paralyzed. It has to worry about the rest of its team trying to get this victory, as Dashbun does become confused due to the fatigue of that Petal Dance. Beartick with the smoke screen is going to lower the accuracy of this big tasty looking pupper that we have on the field right now. Gardevoir, having no moves left, is going to struggle and gets the elimination on Beartick. This will complete the huge play for the Candy Hearts. This is the start they need. They do not want to slip down the leaderboard. They're currently in 16th place, which is even worse when you look at the Glacado Nordics, who are currently on the bottom of the leaderboard, as we have Avalugg and Baxcalibur coming out for the Glacado Nordics. Dashbun needs to shake off this confusion here. It will be able to shake it off, and it's going to go for the Power Gem onto the pseudo legendary here. Super effective hit, gets some good damage on the Ice Dragon type, who responds with the Draining Kiss, looking to restore a little bit of the health that it just lost thanks to the pupper. Here Dashbun having its energy drained. Gardevoir though going for the Vine Whip onto Avalugg. Avalugg hugely tanking that hit, and going for its first move of the matchup. It goes for the slam onto Gardevoir, gets a fantastic hit there. Remember that grassy terrain is still in the field, so everyone is about to restore a little bit of health. Gardevoir is a very easy target at the moment though. Avalugg almost getting itself back to full strength after that Vine Whip as well, but the grassy terrain has left the field, and Dashbun has snapped out of its confusion and going for the nasty plot here. Does not go for an elimination, instead it boosts its special attack. Dashbun only having a 50 base special attack, as that Burning Jealousy, that well-baked body boosting the defense there of Dashbun, but it will do damage to Gardevoir, who is able to hold on, but it is going to go for the struggle yet again thanks to that Torment from earlier, and the recoil damage is going to eliminate Gardevoir from this matchup. which get a sucker punch attempt from Avalugg. That move will fail, however, as Mimikyu comes out onto the field and immediately quickest Pokemon on the field with the smoke screen onto Baxcalibur. We saw this earlier. This is going to lower the accuracy of the Dragon type Pokemon here, as Dash Bomb with the Fury attack. Baxcalibur is able to avoid it, however, and goes for a simple beam, but it fails, unfortunately, for the pseudo-legendary. Avalugg, though, trying for the Dragon Darts. This will not affect the Fairy types, so they are immune to Dragon type moves, which spells bad news for Baxcalibur on the field, who receives the mean look here, and so it can no longer escape Mimikyu with that move, and Dash Bomb following it up with the Cotton Guard for its side. It will boost its defense yet again, after already having that wall-backed body ability come into play. We get a defense curl from Baxcalibur, so it's also going to go for the defense boost here. As, speaking of defensive Pokemon, we get Avalugg with the Sand Attack, lowering that accuracy of Dash Bomb here. 184 base defense for Avalugg, by the way, as that Aqua Tail is not very effective on Baxcalibur, and Dash Bomb with the Tailwind trying to boost that speed of its side, although they already are the quickest two on the field, as we get a parting shot from Baxcalibur. It is clearly needing a break. It is going to go back to the bench, but first it lowers those offensive stats of Dash Bomb, both the physical attack and special attack, as Weavile now comes out in its place, and Avalugg with the recover is going to get itself back to full strength surely here. Yes, it does. It almost practically was there. That recover may be a little bit early in this matchup, as we get a Rain Dance now performed by Mimikyu, causing that rain to fall over the field. See if anyone goes for a Thunder, as we get a round from Dash Bomb onto Avalugg, getting some good damage in there, as the coaching now from Weavile looking to support Avalugg here. It is going to boost Avalugg's attack, which does sit at a base 117, as well as boosting that previously mentioned defense. We get a Thunder Punch onto Dash Bomb, who does take that hit from Avalugg as a bulk up from Mimikyu, boosting its attack stat here, as well as its defense, and it is now Dash Bomb going for the Quiver Dance. Everyone's looking to boost their stats here. No one's really on the offensive at the moment. They are preparing for some big things, surely. Boosting its special stats as well as its speed does Dash Bomb. But Weavile now going for the Blaze Kick, but that well-baked body coming into play yet again, and Dash Bomb gets another defense boost as the hold back from Avalugg. And just so we're aware, 115 base defense does Dash Bomb have, and already it's had 3 boosts on top of that, as Weavile with the Muddy Water hits both Mimikyu and Dash Bomb. It will break that disguise of Mimikyu, as well as lowering its accuracy here. So Mimikyu will be able to take a lot more damage, but it is going to go for the Poison Jab here onto Weavile. Gets a fantastic hit there, as well as the Toxic Spikes are set up by Avalugg. Any Pokemon now that comes out onto the field for the Candy Hearts will be poisoned when it lands in those, as that Tailwind does peter out for the Fairy types. As Dash Bomb, though, with the Aerial Ace onto Weavile. Weavile is going to respond, though, with the Payback going for Mimikyu. Mimikyu is able to tank that hit, though, and Mimikyu now with the Kowtow Cleave going onto Weavile, and with that not very effective move, it gets the elimination. There are only 3 Pokemon remaining for the Glisado Nordics, as we get a Volt Tackle onto Mimikyu, and Mimikyu is eliminated by Avalugg. That was a fantastic response. The Ice types needed that elimination, or it would have been spelling doom for this side very soon. As Baxcalibur now coming back out onto the field, and it's Carbon coming out for the Levere Candy Hearts, who immediately lands in those Toxic Spikes that were set up earlier, so it is left with that poison condition. A Light Screen now from Dash Bomb, going to make its side stronger against special type moves, and they've already got a strong special defense base on that side, as an Aqua Step onto Dash Bomb. Dash Bomb tanking that hit. Baxcalibur, though, getting the speed boost in the process, as the Stuffed Cheeks from Carbink, it is going to boost its defense a great deal. Wow, speaking of more strong defensive Pokemon, 150 in both the base defense and base special defense, as that well-baked body gets activated yet again, this time thanks to the Flame Charge. Those defenses are maxed out, surely now. Carbon taking damage from its poisoning. Dash Bomb with the Pound. Looks like it is going to be avoided by Baxcalibur, though, who goes for the Incinerate, trying to burn up those Leopard Berries, but instead it doesn't affect Dash Bomb. That well-baked body yet again, and a little bit of damage done to Carbink, who goes for the Flail onto Avalugg. Very minuscule damage. Avalugg shakes it off, but going with the Misty Explosion And Avalok has taken itself out of this match. It was super effective on its own teammate. Excalibur's able to stay in it, as is Carbink and Dashbun. So Avalok has taken itself out for no eliminations, and now out comes Houndstone, the last Pokemon for the Glissato Nordics. Is the terrestrializing Pokemon. It is going to drop that ghost typing and become a pure ice type. See if it can still capitalize on that stab ghost typing that it will maintain. But it is now weak to fire type moves. See if Dashbun can capitalize on that. Going for the headbutt, which Houndstone would have been able to avoid if it was still a ghost type. Excalibur with the dual wing beat onto Carbink, who tanks both those strikes, heavily being not very effective. Again, it was hit 2 times with that dual wing beat, but Houndstone has flinched from the headbutt. It's unable to go for an attack, and now it's going to be left confused thanks to a Confuse Ray from Carbink. Carbink is the slowest Pokemon on the field. Not to say it's the slowest Pokemon in the PokeType League. There are many slower Pokemon as Carbink's poisoning continues to chip away at it. Dashbun though with the Fire Lash onto Excalibur, who is actually able to take that hit better than I expected, but does have its defense lowered, and Dashbun, who has been in this matchup since the very beginning, remember, has to chow down into its Leopard Berry, and a double edge onto Dashbun, who tanks that hit. Those defenses are massive as Excalibur with the recoil damage. Houndstone is confused. It needs to shake it off. It will be able to shake it off. Going for the Terra Blast. It will be an ice type Terra Blast, and it goes for Carbink. And that beautiful move is tanked greatly by Carbink, practically taking no damage and going with the agility as we get our first time warning. Carbink is able to boost its speed as it suffers from the poison. There's only 2 Pokemon remaining for the Nordics. We still have 4 Pokemon remaining for the Candy Hearts, and we could be going into overtime as a Tail Slapper is avoided by Excalibur. Excalibur now with the Dire Claw, and Carbink is taken out of this matchup. That is fantastic for the Glissato Nordics. They are still in this. Houndstone though needs to shake off this confusion, needs to get this elimination of Dashbun. Going for the close combat, it won't be very effective, and Dashbun is able to stay in this matchup. Houndstone lowering its defense and special defense here as that light screen wears off for the Candy Hearts. We get another time warning, and Grimmsnarl now comes out, landing in those toxic spikes. So now it is poison, but we are getting closer to a potential overtime here. As an amnesia from Grimmsnarl, the Candy Hearts could finish this off, though surely they do not want to go into a singles battle with Excalibur in it, but Excalibur is eliminated by a super effective axe kick from Dashbun, who's still in this match. I cannot believe it has been in this match for over 12 minutes as Houndstone is confused, able to shake it off though, going for the Sand Spear Storm. And Dashbun is eliminated. Grimmsnarl taking a little bit of damage, but it is now a 2v1 battle. This could all end here. The Candy Hearts still have 1 more Pokemon to send out as Grimmsnarl's feeling the effects of that poisoning. And it's Blissey. The Candy Hearts are finishing off with their own terrestrializing Pokemon. It will be poisoned, but we're in the remaining seconds of regulation time in this matchup. And Blissey sheds its normal typing and is now a fairy type Pokemon, no longer immune to ghost type moves. Instead, it's now immune to dragon type moves. Grimmsnarl, quickest Pokemon on the field, going for the Dragon Tail onto Houndstone. Doesn't do a great deal of damage, and Houndstone has finally snapped out of its confusion, going for the Freeze Dry. And here it goes on to Blissey, and Blissey takes that critical hit, practically receiving no damage when you really think about it, but a Venom Shock onto Houndstone. Houndstone's still in this matchup as Grimmsnarl feeling the effects of the poisoning. I think regulation time may be over though, and if we go into overtime here, all these 3 Pokemon will be restored back to full strength, and this battle will continue. So it is now a one-on-one matchup, a single battle. Blissey will stay on the bench for the time being as Houndstone going up against Grimmsnarl right now. There's 1 Pokemon remaining for the Nordics, the terrestrializing Pokemon, the terrestrializing ghost type, sorry. Houndstone getting that ice typing, Grimmsnarl out on the field. Remember, Blissey is still on the bench for the Candy Hearts, so they have a Pokemon in reserve. Houndstone will have to bring all that it can here as a Poison Tail onto Houndstone, who takes that hit, is able to respond with the Sweet Scent. This is going to lower that evasiveness of Grimmsnarl, make it an easier target. See if it can go for a 1-hit KO move, because that will be crucial at the moment. But a Lash Out from Grimmsnarl onto Houndstone. Houndstone, though, Now responding with the tail whip, lowering the defenses. It's lowered the evasiveness, lowered the defenses. It is surely going to go for something here. But a soak now from Grimmsnarl does fail. It does not change the typing of Houndstone. Houndstone with the toxic. This poisoning has been a theme throughout this matchup, and Grimmsnarl yet again being poisoned, this time badly poisoned, so it will get worse every turn. Grimmsnarl needs to go for something big because Blissey is so low in its offenses. They probably do not want it out on the field, as it goes with the Defend Order, boosting its defenses and its special defenses here. Now, Houndstone with the Sandstorm. So this Sandstorm will rage over the field, and both Pokemon will be taking damage from this. Houndstone has potentially harmed itself doing so. But Grimmsnarl feeling the effects of both the Sandstorm, sorry, and the poisoning, but goes for the Frenzy Plant onto Houndstone. Houndstone's able to hold on though, but only by a thread. It goes for a Flying Press. Grimmsnarl not tanking that hit, sorry, actually receiving pretty decent damage as Houndstone barely holds on from the Sandstorm damage that it set up. Grimmsnarl needs to hold on. It is from the poisoning, but both these Pokemon barely able to last. But a Hydro Cannon onto Grimmsnarl. Houndstone has gotten the elimination. It's now a 1v1 match, but the Sandstorm continues to rage, and Houndstone has taken damage, and it will be eliminated. The Levere Candy Hearts have won this matchup because Blissey is still on the bench. They have one remaining Pokemon. A huge victory for the Fairy types. This is exactly what they needed. This is a terrible start to the season for the Ice types. They are firmly on the bottom of the leaderboard, and next round they have to contend with the Heart Home Spectres. That could be terrible for them, whereas it will be the Candy Hearts going up against the Cortondo Dust Mites next round. I cannot wait for that. But until then, Nidorinos, thank you so much for watching. Let us know in the comments below who you thought was the best on field, and if you enjoyed what you saw, please leave a like, share, subscribe, but more importantly, always remember, you are awesome, and I'll see you when you see me.